Hello, friends. This is Giuliano, and it's time for another weekly roundup. Look at some crypto price charts, get an idea where we are and where we might go. So let me share the screen. And we'll start with Bitcoin against USD. So, what do we got going on here? Weekly price chart. We've got some potential to maybe reach this kind of a level here on a daily time frame, and then who knows from there. You know, it's going to be interacting with this 20-week moving average at some point. The price is relatively holding this zone, and as we look lower time frames, there is potential for a push higher locally. But really, the big question is, does this set of lows hold, or does the price have to dump harder, faster, sooner? Yeah, because I mean, if we go for a couple of ideas here, one could be you go down lower and then you go higher, and maybe you try and find your zone of support again before you cross that longer term downtrend, and that creates your overall bottoming formation possibly. You know, here's like 15K, so who knows how low it has to go, but here's your lower end of Bollinger Band. So there's that kind of idea. The other idea is you make it up here, you kind of come back on a weekly, you start holding these levels again as a supportive stance, and you kind of play across this 20-week moving average, whatever it's going to do, and you can pop up higher first and then come back to wherever you need to come to find some support, or depending when you touch, you make it higher. But yeah, no, I get the sense maybe you come back down first and then you can cross over into 2023 at some point. Over here, you're like into February, March, let's say. So these are a couple of ideas here, and that means either these levels hold or we get a leg down first and then hopefully make a return back to these levels. Now the other option, of course, is that move down and then have to find some support down here within this zone, in which case most likely it will involve some, you know, moves up and down within that zone. But yeah, that's going to mean, you know, going into 2024 in the tens of thousands, in the teens of thousands possibly. So that feels less likely, but yeah, you never know. I like this scenario here of finding some bottom here, even if it means lower lows to like the 15,000 area. And on a weekly, we could see this level here as a potential level that could, you know, support us if needed. And you can even see here, it became a support on the weekly, intra-weekly here. Anyway, that's the kind of next move if you want to fake people out, you know, like lower end of the Bollinger Band type stuff. So yeah, let's see what ends up happening. I'm going to just get rid of this anyway for now. And we'll look just a little closer on the daily. So that's weekly time frame thoughts. Definitely looking to find either a bottoming formation or even potentially a redistributing formation. And it might even look like a scenario where this does hold and it moves up and gets rejected and then like comes down further to make those lower lows wherever that ends up going. Yeah, it might even make it down to these 12K areas at that point, you know, but I don't think so. I think 15K could be the one that everybody thinks is going to come down further, and then it doesn't. And then you can find a bottoming formation because, you know, that kind of stuff can happen. Now, in the local time frame, is it going to go higher first before going lower? And then eventually, is it going to break out and then find some sort of, you know, something here and then eventually hop over? These are some interesting thought points. So we look at this downtrend as an important downtrend to let us know when you might be reversing this downtrend. Also, these horizontal levels. So we'll zoom in a little bit and say, okay, horizontally, the price is trying to hold this level here. So, you know, it did break down and it did provide a reversal back to the upside, and now, you know, is again over this in this zone here. So what's the point? The point is there's potential for holding it and going higher. I mean, the momentum on the daily is potentially going to flip bullish, and you could you know, there is arguments of a potential hidden bullish divergence with this MACD and even with the RSI. But yeah, anyway. So watch for this kind of level here. It's also the basically mid-level of the range here to here. Okay, this range mid-level meeting the downtrending resistance. So there's potential there for that kind of an idea, or not. Maybe it just takes a bit of time. It holds it here, goes up here, you know, coinciding with this 20-day moving average stuff, and then coming down. And then again, that's the big question. Does it go further down? Does it hold even at these levels? Good question and good thought is it probably does make a new low and come, but then the big thing would be coming back into this zone. That would be the huge deal. So anyway, that's like BTC thoughts, and we're coming closer and closer, ever closer. And it's interesting to watch it play out. If we look on the 4-hour time frame, it has really been narrowing around this mid-range of this kind of level there. So yeah, that's where we are on the 4-hourly. You do have a big Ichimoku cloud and 200 period moving average as resistance significant. So maybe it just, that's an argument for potentially just turning right over. So yeah, whatever, we'll see how it goes over the next few days. What's going to happen with the price? Does it go up or does it go down? There is going to be the volatility, though. It is coming. We are, you know, essentially winding into a narrowing around a midpoint. You're like corkscrewing or whatever, Bollinger Bands narrowing, Ichimoku cloud ahead. Either you're going to pop through to the upside, or you are getting rejected further downside. Okay, and based on momentum here on the daily, you could argue it looks like it wants to go into positive momentum. So we'll see what that is, though. Maybe not. Maybe it's going to you know, dump further into more negative momentum, but we will be here to watch it. So as for now, if we look on the weekly, this orange box type of region, we're looking to hold it as support. It was previously the most recent weekly, intra-weekly low. The last week's candle had a lower low intra-weekly, not lower than the 13 June low, but the intra-weekly trade did go a little lower. So we see it on the daily, how basically the price kind of broke a little down below, but closing wise, it held that zone nicely. This is more of a weekly zone. So there is some significance there. So anyway, just a thought, you know, and then you get a nice bullish candle to the upside, potential support at the previous levels, which were important on a closing basis, and as a general, yeah, zone. So yeah, potential strength in the local term for BTC, and definitely potential bottoming formation being made, even if lower lows happen on the weekly chart. But yeah, let's see if it's going to go up or down first. That'll be interesting. Okay, all right, that's it for now. I'm going to take that off there. Okay, awesome. That's the BTC price chart. We're going to leave this for now. And all right, next, let's just slide over to, yeah, let's watch XMR. We're right there. So you still, you know, you kind of pop below 200 week moving average. You're now back above, trying to hold the top and go higher. Now you're at the upper end of the Ichimoku cloud. You're still within this uptrend. So nothing yet directly telling us. And if we go to the daily, still nothing. And either we're going to pop higher to the upside, or it's going to be breaking down. And we'll see that into October, November, for sure. Yeah. So that's XMR. Keep an eye out for that. but my guess is there's a potential downside happening for sure. Okay, but anyway, keep watching. Obviously, the price charts keep giving information and details, and it can change by the day or even by the hour, right? Okay, awesome. That's XMR. So let's see. Currently, you know, a lower high, but as long as you're above the 200-week moving average, you're in a decent position, let's say. Okay. Let's also move over to Pirate Chain R against BTC on the CoinEx exchange as the more long-term data. Okay, nice. So you've broken a decent, significant downtrend since the spring of 2022, March, April 2022. And you've broken to the right side of it now. Now the question is, as these Bollinger Bands narrow, you're below the 20-week moving average, watch for the price to get above and hold above the 20-week moving average, but watch for volatility and watch it to the potentially upside. You're still making a higher low here locally than this previous June lows. However, I think intra-week you did make a recent lower low, so maybe this becomes a bottoming formation more locally. And yeah, that's great. So far, Pirate Chain looking decent, at least in terms of this recent downtrend, and we're looking for within the next, 5 to 10 candles, a little bit of information. Maybe it even pops up and comes back down first before going higher towards, this like 3,000 Satoshi level would be ideal. But even, yeah, it's gotta, you want it to go higher than like 25, 26, 27, because that's just the top of the Bollinger Band here. Then that would mean the volatility would probably be coming down to the downside or maybe it just needs to wind up for a little bit longer into 2023. But here's the beginning of 2023 right here. So it would be nice to get a nice little, for the longs of Pirate Chain, it would be nice to get a pop-up into October, November, and then maybe come back down towards the, March, April timeframe, and then go higher up and cross over this downtrend. But anyway, this is a BTC price chart, so that's asking a lot. It's asking a lot. So really the main deal here is they'll hold this horizontal level as support. Otherwise, you got a big dump coming. Okay, that's Pirate Chain against BTC. So far, looking good, but it's going to need to play out the next couple of weeks and really give us the final thoughts on that. Okay, and now let's just flip over to VRSC on the 3-day price chart. And yeah, just looking at, okay, it's a little bit of information here. This is a retracement of this most recent high of March, April to the low of this, 1, 2, 3 type of bouncing. You could even argue 4 bounces between like June, July, and even September recently. So this region here, so top to bottom, high to low, a retracement of 38% is over here around the 2,300 Satoshis level. So I don't know if this bounce yet is there yet. So maybe there is room to go to the upside for VRSC still on a 3-day price chart. It might take a bit of time. You might consolidate a bit here, and on the daily, it might even look like there's quite some negative momentum for a bit. But as long as you can hold this horizontal pink levels here, that's good. You have room to go higher, and then maybe make your retracement a 50% retracement would be nice. But who knows when that might come in? But it does look like it could be longer term, creating a bottom potential here with some moves up and down, and then cross over this long downtrend, and then into 2020, end of 2023, 2024. There's a lot of room for markup in price for the VRSC price chart. But the danger is obviously you get rejections from these, these moving averages. You're at the Bollinger Band rejected, you start breaking down, and then that means you need to come down to these lower levels down here, and that's like 1,000 Satoshis and below. So anyway, looking for a retracement. You had the reason I'm looking at this level here, this high to low, is because recently we had from these highs to lows, okay, roughly, which are over here, let's say, we had ourselves a nice 50% retracement. Okay, so that was kind of a 50% pattern. So we're looking here at least for a 38.2 to retrace. So anyway, when that happens is not clear, but that's the reason that the Fibonacci retracement is on the screen. And yeah, currently we have the price between the 20 and 55 moving averages, and all the moving averages are in bearish position, with the higher time frame at the above and the lower time frame below. So that's more bearish position, but the price is in between. So yeah, there's potential here. Let's see what happens over the coming days and weeks on the VRSC price chart. Okay, all right, I'm going to get out of that and move over to the, okay, we did Bitcoin. Let's go to KMD, which is on the weekly. It is holding, just like some of the other alts, it's holding this kind of horizontal zone of importance where it had, you know, it broke below its lows. It made some sort of basing, bottoming support, broke below that, eventually found its support, bounced higher, has regained the previous levels of support, and is now going sideways there. So overall, that's healthy price action. And as long as the KMD can stay within here, that's good. So let's see what happens towards these major long-term downtrending resistances. This price energy here from back in 2019, end of 2019. So, you know, it's incredible how price action moves. Like, you even break this type of downtrend here, and you know, you get an important move higher, and then it kind of goes sideways on a big scale. Like, yes, you made big time lower lows, and this is logarithmic, so all of these movements are magnified in terms of their relative price movements. Anyway, so now we have these kind of more horizontal, well, they're less sloping, downtrending resistances at play. And so once the price can break there, I mean, there is good potential future here if some altcoin action can, you know, find long-term bottoming formations and then move higher. I think that's huge. If they just become long-term, you know, if they become long-term, just, you know, slopes down to horizontal nothingness, then that's another story. But this is showing a lot of potential here in terms of when you break out of this type of downtrend, there is potential for a move higher. And, you know, at least look to this level. It doesn't have to even break the previous highs. It could just get to the resistance level and start finding some sort of horizontal channel into 2024, 25, 26, and, you know, who knows after that. Interesting times here in the crypto verse. And yeah, we're going to move away from KMD price chart on the Binance feed. Let's move over to ADA price chart right now. Yeah, ADA will also take a look at a little lower time. Here's the daily, but let's get first to the weekly, get situated, longer time frame. You're still above that 20-week moving average. So this is the importance levels, but even moving down to these lower levels can still be long-term bottoming bullish for ADA, and in which case you're making a nice, you know, a nice higher low compared to those previous cycle lows. So that's interesting because this is against a BTC price chart. So good luck to you out there, ADA. However, momentum is waning. And so what does that mean? Yeah, maybe you just kind of go horizontal for a little while into 2023, which means you come down to these lower areas first before you come back up higher. So then that's cool, because then you kind of box out and bottom. The danger is, as has always been said, is you come down and then go lower. So let us find out what happens with ADA price chart on the weekly. Okay. But on the daily, you know, when you look on the daily, you had just like a barely higher high and a lot of sideways action took the energy of the price to hold it, which is fine, because you know what, you just keep going. And now you have a nice Ichimoku cloud, and you've got the 200-day moving average, both below the price, acting as support. You've got this trend now, though, which looks like it's coming to an end, and in which case we might get something more like this towards this area. So, but hey, got a 200-day moving average and this horizontal level, which correspond with the 20-week moving average. So if you can hold this whole thing, Ichimoku cloud there and everything, that's awesome. But generally, you know, you start a downtrend and it looks like you could probably end up breaking these levels, and then you're really just hoping you can hold this, but then you're below the Ichimoku cloud, and that becomes like coming back down to that 200-week moving average and trying to find a new bottom there, which is a scary position to be in. Very, but at least you have, let's say, just on the daily levels, you have this kind of action here to hold you up anywhere from here down to here. So if you look at the right on the price, you can see, you know, anywhere from this level here, which was previously pretty good, all the way down to this levels here, which are kind of mapped out anyway with our green. Okay, and on the weekly, that looks like that. Okay, so that would be even a move below the like significantly below 200. So I wouldn't, that would be weak, quite weak. So I would hope that you could hold higher up, especially if you can hold this one here in like the high 1900s if needed. That's, or 1800s even. That's great. Okay, well, we'll see with ADA, but it looks like the trend is slowing down. And even though it tried to break higher above this this downtrending force, and it kind of has, but it looks like this uptrending force will not last that much longer. So let's see, let's pay attention to it. Yeah, until next time, we'll keep an eye on the daily price chart with ADA as well. Okay, there you have it. Interesting. There you go. There's always room to go higher, but yeah, it doesn't. I mean, the best thing about going forward is it's potential, you know, to go green again. But look, you're even already curling lower, and you're above the zero line with the Machian signal lines. So yeah, looks like it's slowing down. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, that's the weekly. Loving it. Okay, let's run through the next ones. I think theta is still where it was. ICX, Darrow, TRAC. Let's take a quick look here, because Origin Trail does have potential to either hop over this downtrending energy, and then, you know, it's narrowing the Bollinger Bands on the weekly. So there is potential to move higher here with TRAC. It's getting support at the 200. Oops. Let's give it a little thicker action, give it some importance. So yeah, potential supporting at the 200 levels here, narrowing Bollinger Bands, hop over this line and the 20-week moving average, and then push higher. That's the potential here for Origin Trail. The other potential is you getting rejected already at this levels and you just break down further. So either way, volatility coming towards this one. But my overall sense is you got that move. Now you're kind of getting this move now potentially going. And yeah, you're kind of, you know, it's almost like you're waiting for it. Anyway, so yeah, looking good. I find, and then on top of that, let us see here. You're getting, you know, you're basically getting this, and potentially this, I think is a big deal. If you want to count this as one thing, then you have this, and now whatever is going to form here. And I think that's massive for upside potential. But anyway, let's see what happens. This is Origin Trail track on the weekly. Let's take a look at the daily and get a sense of where we are here. Yeah, either you're getting rejected or you're going to hop over. This is looking good. This is looking really good. A lot of good potential here. You already had your lower low than the previous low. bouncing hard, coming back to these levels. If you can just hold this area here and go higher, that's great. If not, then you've met your match and you're coming back somewhere down here. Again, first, you know, you got rejected by a 200-day moving average, Ichimoku cloud zone. But now you have a green Ichimoku clouds, and that's usually a good sign when the price can get over there, and then you can, you know, I don't know what it'll look like, but you get it as support, and you get to a higher. So let's watch for this. I think I'm going to get rid of this uptrend here, and we'll see. It's nothing guaranteed. You're at the lower end of the Bollinger Band, catching some support on the daily here. Look for the price to challenge these zones into October. And we'll know in October what's happening with the origin trail price chart. So that's going to be fun. So stick around for that. If you're watching, awesome. I hope this is doing well for you. And we're going to run to the next chart, which is going to be BNB against BTC. The always mouth widening chart. It's like you even continue making higher highs intra-week last week. You break back above that important horizontal level last week. Now you're trying to hold that as support on a weekly candle basis. I mean, oh my goodness. Now, at some point, something's got to give, right? But the trend is your friend. So this is looking great. However, on a daily price chart, I mean, this type of stuff here does speak of topping formations. Now, a topping formation doesn't mean you need to dump back down your whole trend, although it often does. However, you know, on what scale will it be dumping a trend? And maybe it will just dump to this, again, horizontal levels of this part of the trend. But or maybe not, maybe it comes down lower, whatever. We're not going to worry about that right now. We've talked about that plenty in the previous videos with BNB. The now question is, look, you broke this this local uptrend here of this formation here, and you broke it hard. And in breaking that, okay, which was after, you know, after making new highs of this horizontal level, you broke it. It even breaks this longer term green, you know, uptrending price action, and then the price just hugs it all the way back up, even back above these horizontal levels, even making an intraday new high, top of the Bollinger Band, rejecting. Now, here's the thing. You're using now this as support. As long as you can stay above this horizontal level here as support, which is basically 0.14-ish levels, then you're okay. But as soon as you start breaking down this again, I think you are in a dangerous place, because, you know, you are technically below this trend still, to the right of it, I should say, and you really, like, you know, one up thrust rejection, another up thrust with like lots of energy rejection, next up thrust. If you start getting rejected again, it's got to hold sideways, and that's okay. That's totally within play. You know, you can totally hold sideways here and chop for a while into 2023 easily, and then keep going higher. But usually when you break a level that's like an all-time high level, you don't just hang around for that long above its level. Unless you're really making a bigger top formation, and then you're going to break below it, and then, yeah, like that's when. So it's got to go, keep going higher, or you're getting into some real scary territory. So watch out for BNB by 2024, 2025. That's going to be interesting. That is going to be interesting against BTC. Okay, let us see. Now we move on to the next price chart. Link was doing well, so we'll just keep up with its trend. Where is it? Yeah, okay, so it's challenging that long-term downtrend. Okay, all-time downtrend against BTC, so that's amazing. Meeting up against a 200-week moving average, top of the Bollinger Band. So yeah, looks like there's potential to turnover here, all things said. However, that's okay. You kind of just go sideways across this line. You've reclaimed this yellow previous support levels, so that's huge. And then you can challenge this Ichimoku cloud into 2023, into the spring of 2023, even if that means falling back down on the other side of this downtrend. However, let's see. Yeah, on a daily, you're in a good position. You got this Ichimoku cloud green to the right of you. You could chop on for a little while. You've got this nice potential support level here. So Link looking half decent, but this yellow level is important because it's Ichimoku related, 200-day moving average related. And like if you were paying attention to this on a daily level, you can see how you would get really good confirmations. You kind of like really break it hard to come back down and hold it, and you hold this 200-day moving average. That's pretty decent stuff. So now you're just looking to maintain this strength, even if that means you come down, on a daily and locally into October. That's fine. Just hold above these levels, and you are strong on Link, and you are looking to, on the weekly, cross over this downtrend and be in this kind of zone and eventually go higher. So that's huge. The danger is you can't do it and you start crumbling and crumbling and crumbling. And then, yeah, again, you got to hold this, yellow orange line. Otherwise, and that's just going to mean if you can't do that, you're down back to the green probably. All right, well, we'll see what this is going to look like on the chain link chart in the coming months ahead into 2023. But definitely like October, November, will give us a nice little set of information to continue. Yeah, I totally see it, just taking up this space here and crossing over, and then dealing with the next move in 2023. Cool. I guess because even if it comes down, like you could just hug this downtrend into here and then keep coming back up. And wow. Anyway, cool. I look forward to 2023 and 2024. Hope you can be here with me, and hope I can be here with you. That's Chainlink on the weekly. Let's run into XRP, the darling XRP. For XRP, have created a downward sloping wedge, hugging that 20-week moving average and this previous important horizontal brown line over here after deviating below it and reclaiming it, hugging it. And bang, finally you make it to that 200-week moving average and above that Ichimoku cloud, which we were wondering if it would happen back here, but it didn't. It broke down first, reclaimed, then went there. Amazing how price action will, just take its own time, not in the time you want. Now you're above the Ichimoku cloud, looking for support there on the weekly. And certainly room to go, but on the RSI is saying you're going to probably have to chop around here if you're going to want to maintain some of this price action. Otherwise, what's going to happen? Well, let's watch it. Let's watch and see. But maybe you've met your peak on XRP for now, and it's making instead a larger bottoming formation. That would be incredible for the longer term time frame. Because what does that mean about these price action of altcoins against Bitcoin? So that's pretty cool. And what kind of world is that when that's happening? If that happens, like, does this end up being some sort of a long-term bottom formation and then move higher, to these kinds of levels here, or not? Yeah, let's find out. Anyway, good stuff from XRP. Possible local highs. You got to stay more close to the price action. On the daily, I guess we can watch this trend now. That's great. So, interesting trend. Yeah, I could go sideways for a while, I think, this trend, because, there's a lot of energy there. There's this, a lot of sideways energy there. So it could maintain that and come into the slope. It's not a very, for example, the slope of this trend from these lows to these lows is much less than the slope from these lows, you know, all the way up to whatever lows you're making now. And that's even if it can hold it. So right now you're in this kind of a thing. So, but who knows, this thing can keep moving until it bounces, and it might not bounce. It might just come right back down. So we're going to find out very soon on the daily time frame what's happening with XRP. But then it does have room into November and the end of the year. Really, here's 2023, beginning of 2023, right here. So this space here can be just sideways and down for XRP in towards this uptrending line, which makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense for sure. So there's some thoughts on XRP, especially, you know, on the daily. You look at all this RSI overbought scenario. It could chop around and stay up and do its thing, but that's kind of the thesis here. So anyway, that's good for you, XRP longs, and good luck out there. Okay. That's XRP. Let's look at ETH, Ethereum. Ooh, 69 right now, even below 70. Oh, even the bodies of the candles are just narrow and just holding between the 20-week moving average and below the previous important price level that was carved out here based on some of the candle body closings and price action. You're getting your support at your Ichimoku cloud, but what's that going to look like? How long is that going to be? We'll see for how these momentum oscillators reset and see where the price action goes from there in order to determine such things. But for now, it looks like your trend is sideways and down. Oh, on the daily, not looking good. Daily, you've definitely broken down this trend. So let's just kind of get rid of you. You are now within the Ichimoku cloud, and you are trying to hold the 200-day moving average as support. So let's see, you did deviate below it. So if you can hold it, that's safe. And then maybe you'll deviate back above, or this on the weekly, this will become a deviation below this, this horizontal level, and you'll be back above it. But you're gonna have to watch for that. You are getting a potential bullish cross on MACD, but that just might be like for a bit of a consolidation before further move down, or maybe not. You got this Ichimoku cloud here. This could be your support. This could be a really important price action to watch here for Ethereum. But I think overall, yeah, okay, just like hold that kind of thing. Okay, I think that'll be good to watch. But this 200-day moving average is your important deal right now. All right. Ethereum. All right, we move to DOT. And with DOT against BTC on the weekly, we still are below the 20-week moving average. Looking for, you know, making some relatively higher lows, but basically same lows, and just keeping some degree of strength and potential to hop back over this local downtrend in green and then move higher. So DOT is looking half decent indeed. However, how long is your positive momentum going to last, and what will it look like when you start making negative momentum? So not super happy, you know, in terms of longs. The longs could be a little bit nervous here. Yeah, moving into October, November, gonna really have to watch it up closer on a daily. Yeah, now you're fighting the Ichimoku cloud a lot here, and you're breaking below it, and it's just not clear if you're going to be able to really get back over it. So on a daily, you watch that. Right now, it's bearish. You want to get back above this level here, like 30.00036 type of level above the Ichimoku cloud and hold it, or even this 200-day moving average. Get above there, and then you're feeling good. Otherwise, it's a local, you know, downtrend is going to be the case on the daily and the weekly. Yep. So that's good. On the daily, you can see what type of levels or zone is important, and you can watch it on a daily to get a closer idea. Okay. for all you dot traders and holders and observers. Okay. Let's move over to FTM. This is financial advice, but it is in the realm of what people like to look at when thinking about things like that, isn't it? All right, you're at this kind of important level here, but you're below the 20 week moving average. How, you know, maybe just this was your move here, and now you're consolidating. What does that mean? Well, who knows how long that's going to go. You know, I think you are coming out of that downtrend. We'll look at it more on the daily just to get a sense of it, because I do think, you know, you've made that lower low than the previous low here, but it is still a higher low than the bigger local low. And so that's important as a price movement, and it's narrowing Bollinger Bands. We're going to get volatility. I do think it could be to the upside. I really do. Yeah, it's setting up to do it, where this whole structure here could be an accumulation structure, totally. And now you're potentially getting ready to jump to the other side. Let's see here. I mean, you're just about there, if not over it now. So, I mean, there's really a good potential that this price action will move to the upside and challenge this 200-day moving average. But it might be part of a bigger, longer-term bottoming formation. I'm not sure. Now, of course, the price, this is an important level. You see these previous supports. So it's like if it starts breaking down, then okay, no good. But on the weekly, it looks like price could at least be challenging this you know, like even deviating above this 20-week moving average. Where is that? That's 13. Top of the Bollinger Band is top of these levels. On the weekly, top of these levels is up here, 200. Yeah, you could go to the top of the Bollinger Band on the weekly easily. As a 200-day moving average right here. Previous highs, you know, and that says nothing. I mean, you could argue that the price could get up to like the like 2,400 Satoshi levels if you want to argue that. Where are we on the? That's up here. That's like this price action here. Now, I'm more doubtful of that, but I do see the price able to come up to this level again before then turning back down for sure. And that would still allow for volatility either up or down, depending what's going to happen, because the Bollinger Band's narrowing still and whatnot. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. It's hard to tell because nothing is guaranteed one way or the other, but let's find out. Stick around for more. Solana against the BTC is basically following the course of action, isn't it? Look, you're even potentially, you know, you're making a move higher above the 20-week moving average. And you might even close above there for the first time since March of 2022. Well, I guess you kind of, oh no, you didn't close above there. You trade above there. You did not close above there, above the 20-week moving average, right? The last time you really closed above the 20-week moving average, other than arguably last week, was arguably in December of 2021 or January 2022. So let's see what happens this week. But anyways, following things as considered. Now, there's definitely a chance that yeah, like there's definitely a chance that it's done its entire downtrend, but usually it's going to look for some sort of sideways. Is this going to be the sideways? And instead of further following this, it just hops over to the other side and then maybe comes down and finds its, you know, who knows what kind of horizontal formation it could make around there. So that is the next option. It's either this or it tops over and does its thing. I don't think it's a hop over and go up there first, but you never know. And yeah, there's things that can happen, but yeah. But we're going to hold this first because that just seemed like the proper energy of everything, and it fits with these types of levels and the whole formation and shape and timing of things, but you never know. Okay, so that's Solana on the weekly. On the daily, we'll just take a look. It's also just like others. It has that potential energy to cross over. Wow, it's challenging it right now. I'm glad we're looking at the daily right now on Solana. It really has opportunity to actually cross towards the other side of this trend. However, all of this zone is a very rejective zone potentially too. So watch out for this. It'll be very interesting. We'll start watching Solana on the daily price chart. If anything, it's looking stronger rather than weaker. And if we look, we can use like this kind of price action level here and say it's above that. So as long as it's above that, you're in a good position. Hey, there's 20-day moving average. So as long as you're above this horizontal level here on the daily, then you're in a good position for Solana. So we'll check back on this price chart on the daily scale next time. Okay, keep watching. Awesome. I like how things advance. You know, they progress, and different charts, they come in and out of, you know, more lower time frame action. Okay, so here is one which is hopefully finding its bottom and hopefully going to jump to the right side of its local downtrend. Speaking from the long position, not that I'm holding a long position, just saying, like, you know, if you're long, you're really hoping you can start jumping over this, holding this horizontal level. Like that would be super strong for AVAX. Danger is coming down lower. That is the big danger. That is the very big danger. You're looking here. Yeah, look, you're getting rejected again by this 20-day moving average in a decent way. As soon as you start dropping these levels, you're down here, and oh boy, yeah. So watch these horizontal levels right here. This is the important stuff, I think, for AVAX on the daily price chart, and that'll signal whether the weekly has, you know, what it needs to do, or what it could be doing. And so watch out for these lower levels here, lower end of the Bollinger Band, at some point or another. All right, that's AVAX on the BTC pair on the weekly time frame. And here's MATIC. Nicely holding up above the Ichimoku cloud, even with some waning positive momentum, relatively negative momentum, but you are in the danger of getting that bearish cross. So you've broken that longer uptrend. Now you're going to come into the Ichimoku cloud, and you're good chance you're going to be challenging that 200-day moving average at some point. Yeah, so let's see what happens here for the MATIC price, but it looks like it could be heading lower. We'll see. This is definitely important levels down here, but even more important becomes this 200-day moving average, which relates nicely with this previous resistance zone and support zone. So cool, that's MATIC on the daily scale and then the weekly scale. So you're looking, it's still in a corrective mode, and you're just looking for where can the correction support find itself, and how long will it take? And I guess if you ask that question, it feels like it'll probably take into the end of 2022 at least on the weekly time frame. Okay, let's maybe even to the spring of 2023. And in that case, who knows where it's going to be against the Ichimoku cloud in the weekly time frame. So that'll be fun to watch. Another fun to watch is Atom as it wanes in its price behavior to the upside, just above the Ichimoku cloud here on the weekly. So what a price move by Atom. Now what happens? Usually it has a few weeks of topping, barely, and then it starts turning over. So either we're going to start turning over, or we're going to continue higher. And my guess is you're going to turn over. But hey, you're still, as long as you're above this uptrend, I think you're in a good position. You start getting below this uptrend, which you're probably going to do, into this Ichimoku cloud. Yeah, it just means you're going to be getting lower momentum and down price. And then the important thing is, can you hold the price really here? And then you're at that point, you're breaking down this Ichimoku cloud on the weekly. You know, I mean, AVAX does like to go up and down. So what? Even if it goes down here, I mean, maybe it goes there next. So I don't know, but yeah, most likely it's coming down. Let's see what happens. That's AVAX. And on the daily, just watch that uptrend, see what happens there. And then it comes to Ichimoku cloud challenging time. Oops. And of course, if it starts making you know, new highs and such on the daily, then it's another story. And weekly, locally. Okay, RUNE. No, that was down. Okay, yeah, let's take a look. It's coming up against this downtrend, so we can watch for that as well. I bet we know what we're going to see on the daily. But anyway, yeah, this looks like it could be hopping over to the right. Hopefully for the longs, otherwise the shorts are going to be real happy down here. But let's see. Like, they'll be happy that it'll go down there. I don't know if they'll be happy down there if they take shorts down there. So on the daily, no, I don't know. Not looking as hot. Not looking as hot. I just see you're further away from the Ichimoku cloud, and it's a red cloud, and it's just this kind of downtrending action. And yeah, maybe you could hop over to the right side of this downtrend and kind of go sideways a bit. I mean, there is still a chance. You still have a chance, but not as. I mean, you know what? All things considered, as long as you're making this this higher low here than these previous lows, you're in a good position. And I see you bumping up to these levels at least to challenge Ichimoku cloud here on this side. And so, meaning at least on the weekly, you're starting to challenge this downtrend. I think you can have a good chance to do that. Okay. And you're hopping over it, and maybe you're just going sideways for a little bit, or what looks like sideways, even, you know, like it's just not the hugest movements. And then maybe you even make a new low first. I don't know what ends up happening, but anyway, nothing special on RUNE, but there is that potential for the downtrend break. Okay, so keep with it. NEAR was still making formations, wasn't it? Yeah, it was getting rejected. You're still got to hold this 20-week moving average, and you can keep talking, but momentum looks like it's waning, and who knows? We'll hop on the daily just for fun. Yeah, no, nothing yet, but there is the potential. If you can get up above here, then you have potential to do something. But my guess is, no, you're not ready for that on NEAR. It doesn't seem like you're ready. You already made your move up on the weekly. Now you made your local higher low. Sorry, your local lower high than the previous high here, and you're making like some sort of M formation on the weekly, moving down. So NEAR looking weaker. Okay. But at least you're above that 20-week moving average, so keep watching that. Let's do DOGE and then TRX, and then we get out. So DOGE, trying to move above this kind of channeling action, trying to hold, well, it's got this resistance here currently. Let's carve this in. So this level of resistance, which is kind of mid-level between that and that. Yeah. So it's relatively bearish until you're above that level, I'd say. But overall, it could be forming its sideways horizontal bottoming formation, which would be great. Otherwise, look out below, and you're going to be dumping hard, into 2024, 324 maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Looks good though overall. Interestingly enough, if you can find that sideways action into 2023, I think you're in a good position to play with this Ichimoku cloud in 2023. Anyway, we'll see. Cool. Yeah, DOGE. for fun. What do you say on the daily? You're already playing with that Ichimoku clown on the daily, huh? Wow. Look at that. You are above the 200-day moving average since the last few days, last 4 days. Okay, I mean, you previously were there too, but you broke below and now you're reclaiming it. So look for this to be some support. Look for Doge to have a potential little pop higher. Then again, maybe not, and then it fails here and it comes back down below. Okay, cool. Yeah, this gives a good feel for Doge. Doge looking good overall, but it's going to take time for sure. We'll see what happens. And this could quickly turn very ugly. Okay. All right, and finally we'll check the TRX. And what do we have here? Local lower high on the weekly. Excuse me. Yeah, this is our downtrending energy right now. Okay. You're going to squeeze that against the 20-week, narrow Bollinger Bands, top of the Ichimoku cloud. You're going to get a twist here. Like a Kumo twist here, where the cloud will twist and potentially go green. And if you can hold above here, then you can go move higher up on the strength of this green supportive region here and into 2023 and that spring and spring of 2023 and make it above this horizontal zone here, which was previous, supportive price action, and now turned resistance to become support again. Wow, that would be huge. That would be massive. Anyway, and then you could see what's happening with this uptrend. But yeah, look for TRX to have a, I don't know why it feels like XRP because it also broke out of this kind of a wedge formation here. Wedge down. Let's make it, no, not strong enough. Make it that color. This kind of wedge formation here broke out. So, and then it broke out above the Ichimoku cloud and 200-week moving average. And so, I mean, XRP got rejected at its 200-week moving average, but that's another story. Anyway, so that just reminded me of XRP. So yeah, anyway, TRX has this potential to go sideways. The other danger is that it's making some sort of like M formation and coming back down harder than you might want if you are looking to stay long TRX. So anyway, on the daily, I mean, you're still trying to hold this Ichimoku cloud, so keep an eye on this. You got your 200-day moving average coming up pretty hard and strong. Be interesting to watch TRX form on the daily price chart. If you start breaking below these levels here, you're in danger because then you're below Ichimoku cloud. You're coming to 200-day moving average and likely can break below it. But anyway, okay, that's it on the TRX. Cool. Stay tuned for more. All right. This doesn't need to be here. All right. That's it for now. I hope you've enjoyed this view of the different crypto price charts against Bitcoin, altcoins against Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin against USD. All right. That's it for now. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you are well, and I am wishing you love, peace, and happiness. Goodbye.